My wife's study group met every Sunday afternoon. I took the kids out for ice cream so she could focus. One day, my daughter said, "Why does Mommy study in her bathrobe with the door locked?" I left my phone recording by the door. The audio? Him saying, "He really left you with the kids again? What an idiot." I played it back for her that night. She stared at me, speechless. "You don't understand," she whispered. "No," I said. "You don't. I already filed." The kids and I moved out the next morning. The study group ended. So did her alimony. I'm just a regular guy. 42 years old. Spent most of my life in Greenwood, Indiana. Married young. 2 kids. A stable job at a machine shop I've been loyal to since I was 25. I don't drink much. I don't cheat. I don't lie. That's how I was raised. You stay true, you show up, you take care of your family. I met Allison at a cookout my buddy Mike threw back in 2007. She was funny, sharp, and beautiful in a way that wasn't showy. She worked as a dental assistant back then. We clicked fast. Got married within a year. Kelsey was born 2 years later. Then Jonah came along 4 years after that. We bought a small house on a quiet street. Nothing fancy. Just a 3-bedroom ranch with a decent yard and a big maple tree in the front. I was proud of it. She always said she wanted to go back to school one day, and when the kids were both in school full-time, I told her it was her turn. She signed up for an online program at Indiana Wesleyan. Something with healthcare admin. That was 2 years ago. She said the program was intense, lots of group work and Sunday Zoom meetings. So every Sunday, she'd close the bedroom door at 2 p.m. and not come out until close to 6. Said it was the only time her study group could meet. I didn't question it. I figured, okay, if this helps her get a degree, I'll do my part. So I made Sundays my day with the kids. We'd go to the Dairy Queen, hit the park, sometimes the trampoline place if I had the cash. I liked it. I liked watching them laugh and be kids. I thought I was giving my wife the gift of time and space to chase her goals. But about 3 months ago, I started noticing weird things. She stopped kissing me goodbye in the mornings. She didn't ask how work was anymore. She laughed at texts she wouldn't show me. Started wearing perfume around the house on Sundays. Said she just liked to feel good. But it was always gone by the time she came out of the bedroom later, hair messy and face flushed. I chalked it up to stress. Midterms or whatever. Then that one Sunday, Kelsey said something that stuck with me. We were sitting in the car eating soft-serve cones when she asked, "Why does Mommy always study in her bathrobe with the door locked?" I froze. "Her bathrobe?" "Yeah," she said. "She always puts it on after you leave." I didn't say much. Just nodded. But the next Sunday, I noticed it for myself. She changed out of jeans and a sweater into her robe right after lunch, right before her group. That same pink robe she used to wear on lazy Saturdays. It was something she only wore when she wanted to be cozy. Or intimate. So I pretended to have a migraine. Told her I didn't feel up to taking the kids out that day. She frowned. Said, "Well, I guess I'll have to use headphones." I said, "Yeah, sorry." I could see the disappointment in her face. And something else too. Panic, maybe? I let the kids watch a movie in the den. Then I told her I was going to grab some Tylenol from the gas station. But before I left, I set my phone down at the bottom of the bedroom door, face up, with the voice recorder running. I closed the hallway door behind me so it wouldn't look suspicious. I was gone 15 minutes. Walked around the block twice. When I got back, I grabbed my phone and went out to the garage. I sat down on my workbench stool and hit play. It started with shuffling. Then her voice. Then a man's voice. Not loud, but clear. "Damn, you're really something, Allie." Then her, kind of breathless. "He left with the kids again." Then him, laughing. "He really left you with them again? What an idiot." My stomach dropped. I heard kissing, moaning, the bed creaking. I stopped the recording. I couldn't breathe. I sat there for a long time, phone in my hand, just staring at the garage wall. A calendar with a photo of my kids was hanging there. Kelsey's toothless grin from Halloween. Jonah dressed as a dinosaur. I felt sick. That night, I said nothing until the kids were asleep. Then I walked into the bedroom. She was folding laundry, acting normal. "How was your study group?" I asked, calm as I could manage. She looked up, surprised. "Fine. Productive." I pulled out my phone. Opened the audio. Played it. I didn't look at her. When it hit the line, "What an idiot!" I stopped it. She froze. Then, barely a whisper, she said, "You don't understand." I finally looked at her. "No," I said. "You don't. I already filed." She just sat there, mouth open. No tears. No fight. Like someone punched the air out of her. I left the room. Packed bags for me and the kids. I didn't yell. Didn't throw anything. Just moved in silence. We stayed with my brother for a while. I didn't tell the kids everything. Just that Mommy and Daddy needed space. But Kelsey, she's sharp. She didn't ask questions. Just hugged me tighter than usual. Her affair partner? He vanished the moment I made it real. She lost alimony. I had proof. Judge said the marriage ended due to misconduct. The degree she was working on? She paused it. Said she couldn't focus anymore. She tried calling, texting, apologizing. But I was done. The study group was over. So was the life I thought we had. For the first few weeks after we moved out, things were quiet. Too quiet, honestly. My brother gave us his finished basement. The kids had blow-up beds and I slept on an old couch. It wasn't perfect, but it was peaceful. No locked doors. No secrets. But then Allison started getting bold. First, it was the texts. Long ones. Begging me to talk. Saying she was sorry. That it was a mistake. A weak moment. That she still loved me. I ignored most of them. Sometimes I typed something and deleted it before hitting send. Then came the gifts. Left on my car windshield at work. Cookies she used to bake. Drawings from the kids she'd scanned and printed. Even a framed photo of our wedding day. I threw that one in the trash. I had my hands full trying to keep the kids stable. Kelsey had nightmares for a while. Jonah started wetting the bed again. I didn't tell them the full story, but they knew something broke. I tried to keep their routine going. School, play, bedtime. But they missed home. And that's when she filed a motion. She wanted the kids back in the house. Claimed I unlawfully removed them. That shook me. We ended up in mediation. Her lawyer was slick, trying to spin it like I overreacted, like I disrupted their lives. But I brought the audio recording. I told the mediator I didn't trust my kids in a house where strange men came in through the back door every Sunday. She sat there in silence. Couldn't even look at me. The mediator finally spoke. "Mrs. Caldwell, do you deny the contents of the recording?" She whispered. "No. That was it. No joint custody. She got visitation. Weekends only, supervised at first. But it didn't stop there. One night, around midnight, I woke up to a loud knock on the basement door. My brother was already at the top of the stairs, holding a baseball bat. I went up and found her outside, drunk, crying, pounding her fists on the door. "You can't just take everything!" she screamed. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. "Go home, Allison. You're embarrassing yourself," she sobbed. "You don't understand. He dumped me. He said I was a mess. I lost everything, Rick. Everything." I didn't yell. I didn't comfort her. I just said, "You earned it." She sat down on the porch, crying like a kid. My brother called a cab. The next morning, I called her sister, Michelle. Told her what happened. She said she'd take Allison in for a while. She always thought I was too soft on her anyway. Things started to settle again. I got the kids enrolled in a different school closer to my brother's house. My boss let me move to day shift so I could be home in the evenings. We started building something new. But then, about a month later, I got a call from an unknown number. It was the man from the recording. He said, "You think you're a hero? You ruined her life." I froze. "She lied to me too," he said. "Told me you were separated. That you didn't care. I found out the truth the same day you did. Why are you calling me?" "Because you need to know, she's not done. She's trying to get you fired. She called your job." I felt the blood drain from my face. "She's spiraling, man." I blocked her. "But you've got kids. Be careful." He hung up. I checked with HR the next day. Sure enough, there was a complaint. Said I was mentally unstable, harboring weapons. Even that I threatened her life. None of it was true. My supervisor had my back. Showed me the report and laughed. "She's losing it," he said. "We're not taking it seriously. But you should watch your back." That night, I sat on the couch and watched my daughter braid her little brother's hair, giggling. I knew this wasn't over. Not yet. 2 weeks after the fake HR complaint, I got served at work. Allison was suing for full custody. She had filed an emergency petition claiming I was emotionally unfit. That I was keeping the children from her in a spiteful and retaliatory way. She included a list of grievances that made me look like a villain. Said I was turning the kids against her. That I had anger issues. That I was brainwashing them. It made my hands shake. But what hit hardest was the part where she said Kelsey was showing signs of emotional trauma due to her father's environment. That was the first time I really got scared. I called my lawyer immediately. He was calm, but firm. "We'll respond. She's throwing mud because she has nothing else." But it didn't stop the fear from crawling into my chest every night. The court date was set for 3 weeks later. During those 3 weeks, things got tense. Kelsey started pulling away. She got quiet, wouldn't sit on my lap anymore, barely looked at me. Jonah was still his normal bubbly self, but I could feel a shift. One night, after I tucked them in, I found a piece of paper crumpled in Kelsey's backpack. It was a note. In Allison's handwriting. It read, "Daddy isn't being fair. He doesn't want me to be part of your life. He's lying to you. I cry every night without you. I love you more than he ever could. Please don't forget who your real mommy is." I sat at the kitchen table, holding that note for a long time. She was trying to poison our daughter against me. I scanned it. "Send it to my lawyer," he said. "This is parental alienation. It's serious. We'll use it in court." But I was already sick of playing defense. I wanted to fight back. So I did something I hadn't done before. I went to her old laptop. When we left the house, we left in a hurry. She kept her new MacBook, but the old laptop, her college one, was still in the basement where she used to study. She forgot about it. I plugged it in, booted it up, and started digging. Emails. Messages. Files. And then jackpot. An old folder labeled Study Group. It was full of screenshots, emails, and call logs. Not just with the guy I recorded, but 3 other men. One of them had even sent her money. Thousands. There were messages about how she had to pretend her marriage was still real, and how, once Rick calms down, I'll be free. It wasn't just cheating. It was manipulation. Lies on top of lies. And worse. There were references to how she'd take the kids back no matter what it cost. And Rick's too soft to fight dirty. I printed everything. The court hearing came faster than I expected. She wore all black, sat with her lawyer like she was on trial for a crime she didn't commit. She looked thinner, worn down. But her voice was calm, practiced. She said she was desperate to rebuild trust with her children, and that I was fueling a campaign of hostility. I didn't say much. I handed the judge the folder. My lawyer walked him through it. The emails, the screenshots, the note to Kelsey, the recordings. Everything. I watched her face slowly lose color. She didn't speak. When it was over, the judge didn't look angry. He looked tired. He said, "This is one of the worst cases of emotional manipulation I've seen in my time on the bench. Ms. Caldwell, you are ordered to attend therapy. Your visitation will remain supervised. Any further attempt to contact the children outside scheduled times will result in a restraining order." Then he turned to me. "Mr. Caldwell, I suggest continuing therapy for your children. They've been through more than they understand." I nodded. That should have been the end. But it wasn't. Because one night, about a week later, someone broke into my car. They didn't take anything. Just left something. A photo of our family. The frame cracked. A red Sharpie drawn across my face. That's when I knew this wasn't over. She wasn't just broken. She was dangerous. After I found the photo in my car, I started sleeping with a baseball bat next to my bed. I installed a security camera above the garage and another by the front door. My brother helped me wire them. We didn't talk much while we did it, but I could feel the tension in the air. He was just as pissed as I was. The footage from the car incident showed nothing, no clear face, just a hooded figure walking up at 2:37 a.m. Slipping the photo under the windshield wiper, then walking off into the dark. It was quick. Almost surgical. I reported it to the cops. They took a statement but didn't promise much. "Could have been a prank," the officer said. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "It wasn't." A week later, it escalated. I picked the kids up from school like normal. Jonah ran up, excited, waving a flyer. "Daddy! Mommy came to my class today!" I froze. "What?" Kelsey, quiet, said. "She gave out cupcakes. Said she was there to help. She wasn't supposed to show up without clearance. Especially not without telling me." I contacted the school. The secretary said they had her listed as a parent on file, so when she showed up with cupcakes and said she was a volunteer, they didn't question it. I was furious. They apologized. Said they'd fix the records. That she'd be removed from the volunteer list immediately. But the damage was done. She found a way to get close to them again, right under my nose. I called my lawyer. "She's testing the limits," he said. "We'll push for the restraining order now." We did. And we got it. The judge granted a no-contact order for the kids outside of supervised visitation. But now I was on edge all the time. Kelsey stopped sleeping through the night. Jonah asked me, "Is Mommy in trouble?" I didn't know what to say. Then, out of nowhere, her sister Michelle called me. "Rick, I need to tell you something." I stepped outside to take the call. The wind was sharp that day, slicing through my jacket. "Allison's been seeing someone again," she said. "But it's bad. Real bad." "What do you mean?" "This guy, he's not like the others. He's controlling. I think he's pushing her. Telling her to get the kids back no matter what. She told me she's thinking of going for emergency custody again, claiming abuse." I nearly dropped the phone. "She told you that?" "She's unraveling, Rick. She's not well. She won't listen to me. I'm scared." I thanked her. Told her to send anything she had. Texts, voicemails. She did. Sent me a screen recording of a message Allison left saying, "I don't care what I have to say in court. They're mine. He had his time. It's my turn." I sent that to my lawyer. But that wasn't the end of it. 3 days later, my work truck was keyed. Deep, jagged cuts down the sides. Liar. Carved into the driver's door. Security footage again. Another hooded figure. Too blurry to ID. I knew it was her. Or him. Or both. This wasn't just about heartbreak anymore. This was war. And they weren't playing by any rules. The night my truck got keyed, I sat on the couch until 4 a.m. staring at nothing. Something inside me cracked open. I'd been trying to protect the kids, to stay calm, to handle things the right way. But none of it worked. She just kept coming, twisting everything, pushing me until I couldn't even recognize my own life anymore. So I changed my approach. I stopped waiting for lawyers and courtrooms to save me. I got smart. First thing I did was buy a burner phone. I knew she'd still answer a number she didn't recognize. I texted her from it, pretending to be someone else, someone curious about meeting up again. She replied fast. Too fast. It was obvious. She was still chasing validation. Still lying. I kept the texts going for a couple days. Got her to say all the right things. How she just needed to keep the story straight a bit longer. How she was working on getting custody back. How her new guy had connections that could make Rick's life hard. I took screenshots of everything. Sent it straight to my lawyer. He was stunned. "This is enough to bury her," he said. "We're filing for full termination of parental rights." And we did. We went back to court with a new petition. We showed the judge the fake texts, the restraining order violations, the school stunt, the damage to my truck, and even the testimony from her sister. She had no one left in her corner. Her new boyfriend didn't even show. From what Michelle told me, he bounced as soon as he heard we were going for permanent custody. The court ruled in my favor. She lost all parental rights. No more visits. No more calls. No more legal say in anything related to our children. When the judge read the decision, Allison didn't cry. She laughed. A bitter, broken sound. "I gave everything to this family," she said to me in the hallway. "And now you're the hero?" I didn't say anything. I just walked away. But that wasn't the end. A month later, Michelle called again. "Allison's in the hospital," she said. "OD. She's alive, but barely." I sat down at the kitchen table, shaking. "She left you a letter," Michelle said. "I don't know if you want it." I didn't. But it showed up in the mail anyway. It was short. "Rick, you were right. I was wrong. But I was tired. Tired of being invisible. Tired of feeling like a mom and nothing else. I made mistakes. I lost everything. I hope one day you can forgive me. Tell the kids I loved them. I really did." Allie. I didn't show the kids the letter. I kept it in the back of the closet, behind a shoebox of other things I don't want to see but can't throw away. She survived the OD. Last I heard, she moved to Illinois. Got into some kind of rehab. Michelle still talks to her. Says she's trying to start over. I don't wish her harm. But I don't wish her back either. As for me, I finally moved out of my brother's place. Bought a fixer-upper across town. Small, but it's ours. The kids are doing better. Kelsey's starting to smile again. Jonah laughs like he used to. We don't talk about their mother much. And maybe that's for the best. Because sometimes, the best revenge is not giving someone a stage to burn themselves on. It's just walking away. With your kids. With your peace. And with the fire out for good.